Welcome to Pulse episode 43. In this episode I'm only going to be covering World of Warcraft news. You're going to have to wait till early next week for your Starcraft 2 fix. But I will give the Starcraft fans watching a little bit of a sneak peek of what's coming next week, so let's have a look at that first. Remember that World of Starcraft video I linked earlier this week? Well, apparently it was pulled from YouTube due to copyright reasons, but those reasons were only because of the name and nothing more. Along with this, apparently the creator of the mod has received quite a lot of praise, and he may well be speaking to the guys at Riot Games about employment there. Lastly, Blizzard Entertainment themselves invited the creator of the mod to visit their campus in Irvine, California to have a bit of a meet and greet with the StarCraft 2 development team. So it seems like the World of StarCraft mod won't be disappearing for good, it'll be back soon with a different name. Other than that, it seems like Total Biscuit will be, pretty soon, starting up a show match, King of the Hill or tournament series of his own for StarCraft 2. I will have a few words about this a bit later in this episode though, so just keep watching for that. Lastly, in the little StarCraft 2 news preview, Jungle Basin has been changed on the official map list. It seems like there was a gold expansion added with destructible rocks right outside your main, so that's pretty interesting. Also, Shakura's Plateau is back. So enough of that, let's head on over to the World of Warcraft news. The next in the Leaders of the Horde and Alliance sets of epic short stories has been revealed, and well, this one isn't short, but it is pretty epic. The second story, Lord of his Pack, gazes into the mind of Jen Greymane, the strong-willed leader of Gilneas. When his nation falls to the Forsaken, Jen and his allies set out across the perilous seas to seek sanctuary with their Night Elf allies. It soon becomes apparent that the recent cataclysm has not only ravaged the lands of Azeroth, but the oceans as well. In the midst of a terrible tempest that threatens to tear the fleet apart, the events that led up to the loss of Jen's kingdom haunt him mercilessly. To weather both storms, Jen must come to terms with his past choices and face their results in the present. I have read most of the story myself, and I have to say that this one, more so than the Garrosh one, is definitely a must read. I've also heard that Total Biscuit himself is looking to do an audiobook style cover of this story. Yes, please. So that may or may not happen, and if you're not one for reading, you could wait for that. Otherwise, find the full thing below. It seems like the hotfixes and hotfixing are far from over. Even more patch 4.0.3a hotfixes have been deployed. A few notable changes include the fact that you can no longer disenchant Lifeblood Alchemist stones. Yes, no more abusing that little bug, guys. Guild experience daily reset should no longer sometimes fail to occur, and mages and druids have both had some of their spell costs reduced. But that's not all of them. As usual, there are a lot more changes, fixes and improvements, and these patch notes were last updated on the 20th of January, so Blizzard are still working hard at improving our experience. So if you want to see the full list of hotfixes, check the links below or visit one of the World of Warcraft community sites. Patch 4.0.6 that's currently being tested on the PTR is definitely starting to show some polish. There were quite a few big changes made recently though. Shapeshifting resto druids can once again escape snare and root effects. Oh, poor ferals. For hunters, casting Trap Launcher, Distracting Shot and Scare Beast now cancels Auto Shot. This makes it easier to crowd control creatures with Auto Shot while moving on. Mind Blast's damage has been significantly increased. It should now be 50% more than Mind Spike. Heroic Deadminds has received a few changes to Foe Reaper and Vanessa Van Cleef. And it seems like Warriors have received a bit of loving too. The biggest change was the fact that Mortal Strike now costs 5 less rage to cast. Yes indeed, 5 is actually quite a lot. Do I even need to say it? I think I will. So there were a lot more changes and fixes, and you can read the full patch notes below. Enjoy. There were, as there always seem to be, quite a few rants about the changes and additions in patch 4.0.6, so if you want to check those out, I have linked them below too. In one last change that I nearly forgot to mention, on the PTR servers there's now a way to waste those extra honor and justice points. Vendors have now been added that stock items that you can purchase with justice or honor points to either sell or use for crafting. Ore, herbs, cloth, all of it, you name it, it's there. Sure, they're a little bit pricey at the moment, but then again, what else were you going to do with those points? So you can read all about all this patch 4.0.6 stuff below, courtesy of MMO Champion and Wowhead. Blizzard have reminded us that we can improve our Cataclysm gaming experience with the new Steelseries Cataclysm themed gaming peripherals. This gear includes a World of Warcraft Cataclysm gaming mouse, a shift keyboard, and 3 mouse pads, which are also Cataclysm themed. So if you're keen for some new gear, and this stuff is not just pretty, it's built for gaming, as all Steelseries stuff is, then you can probably check that out below or over at steelseries.com. BashYork recently had a little bit of a discussion about skill in World of Warcraft. Ah yes, this old gem is back. The whole thing was actually about a player whining that guilds that spend more time in game and in raids generally do better at them, and they don't actually need skill to do what they're doing, they just need the time that they have. So that is a pretty silly argument. BashYork did reply though, and you can find his words of wisdom below. Enjoy that. The drama and heated debate about the guild reputation system seems to be ever increasing with no end in sight. The players are relentlessly pounding away at BashYork with some pretty interesting points, but in true World of Warcraft forum poster style, mostly just garbage. They believe the entire guild reputation system needs a revamp, and I gotta say I disagree with that. At one point, one of the posters actually said that the entire system is cumbersome, inflexible, and just poorly thought out. He says that the decision about who gets access to the rewards should be made by the guild leader himself. They should decide what level of rewards the guild members can get by assigning them different ranks. The ranks then determine what level of rewards the guild members can buy. That is probably the worst idea I've ever heard. Think about the amount of abuse that the system will take then. People will just invite people to the guild, charge them a ridiculous amount of money to buy the highest level items, and then just kick them again. Or just charge them that amount to stay in the guild so that they can use those rewards. No, wait, it's just terrible, okay? The idea is just terrible. There are definitely a few improvements that can be made to the system, but we have to keep in mind that Blizzard know what they're doing with MMOs. They've been doing this for quite a few years, and they are in fact the ones that designed this entire game. So I think we should just leave it to them to decide what's best for World of Warcraft. Okay, so I don't need to say any more about that. You can read the full thing below. Tell me what you guys think about it. Do you like the ideas? Don't you? Do you agree with this guy? Or do you agree with BashYork? Check it out. Let me know. Jesse Cox from over at OMFG Kata has finally answered our questions about DC Universe Online, World of Warcraft, and Rift, and which of those games we should be playing. He even touches on Star Wars, The Old Republic, and Guild Wars 2, for good measure. So if you're in turmoil and don't quite know which MMO to play, the voice of Jesse Cox, the beautiful voice of Jesse Cox, has you covered. Personally, I find what he says about the games 100% true and accurate, and if you were ever trying to decide between those games, this is the perfect video for you. Check that out below. So this is something I really had to talk about. A World of Warcraft, or Horde specifically, themed bathroom. This bathroom was designed by a World of Warcraft playing couple, Paul and Gloria. They did all the work on the bathroom and transformed it into something fit for the War Chief himself. The picture I posted here definitely doesn't do this masterpiece justice. You can check the full gallery out below. A new company called Gamer Food has announced its presence and is now selling health bars. World of Warcraft and Starcraft themed health bars. The Protoss Delight, the Rage Bar, the Mana Bar, and many others. The makers of these new products claim that they're organic and handmade to give gamers a healthy pick-me-up between gaming sessions. The only thing that bothered me was that they seemed ridiculously overpriced, but I guess all gaming merchandise tends to be. So you can check that out below and let me know what you guys think about that too. Just a quick mention that the Shorty Awards are in fact ending soon, and our favorite YouTuber, Total Biscuit, could always do with a couple more votes. If you already have an active Twitter account, you can go and vote for him in the link I've provided below. I think he's definitely one of the more deserving people to win it, even more so after the announcement he made last night. 100% of the income brought in by cynicalbrit.com will be injected directly into the growth and development of Starcraft 2 esports. This will be to support the scene, to help it grow, and to help the players that actually want to play Starcraft 2 for a living and make their dreams a reality too. So we can expect a show match, King of the Hill, or tournament series coming up from cynicalbrit.com pretty soon. Now that is extremely exciting. So check cynicalbrit.com out, check Total Biscuit out on YouTube, and give him a shorty vote if you haven't already. So that's it for the normal World of Warcraft news. Let's head on over to the smalls. In the World of Warcraft smalls, Paragon scored a world first kill on Lady Sinestra 25-man heroic. For the Horde, got the world first kill on Cho'Gall heroic, and Paragon scored the world's second kill on the same boss. Lord Marigar in Icecrown Citadel has been soloed by a Death Knight, and you can see that video on YouTube. And some more YouTube videos, TankSpot has 2 more guides up. one for Meloriac on normal mode, and one for Heroic Halphus Wormbreaker. Wowhead also reports about some dungeon finder and required item level woes. There have been quite a few interesting fan art updates on the World of Warcraft community site, and Blizzard replied to concerns about the dungeon difficulty blog that was posted on the World of Warcraft community sites a little while ago by Ghostcrawler. That's all I have for you guys for Pulse episode 43. Thanks for watching, and remember to like it, favorite it, share it, and subscribe. I hope you all have a great weekend filled with many hours of Blizzard gaming, and check back here soon. Early next week I will have another episode out with Starcraft news, and then either World of Warcraft or Diablo news too. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.